Ronna Romney McDaniel joining us.
How you doing?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good evening.
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
And she is the chair of the Michigan Republican Party, and we appreciate you joining us today on this special webcast.
Thanks for having me.
We were just talking about, which state really is the state, because everybody claims that, you can't win the presidency without winning this state, and Florida obviously is really a big one everybody talks about. But now Michigan's in that conversation. Can the candidate who wins Michigan win this race?
Yeah, I think if you win Michigan, you're in a very good position to win the race. I do think Florida is critical with their 29 electoral votes, so I think we're all going to be watching Florida tonight. But Trump has to win Ohio and Florida and some of the other states. But putting Michigan in play changes the whole electoral map and calculation for the Clinton campaign, and that's why they've been here so often recently.
Madam Chairman, what do you think has happened, particularly in these last few days? Because our poll, Bernie Porn, a month ago, had Hillary Clinton up by 11 points. Then it dropped down to, I think, 7 points. And then the most recent poll, it was 4 points. And that's within the margin of error, which is 4.0%. What do you think is different between now and 4 years ago when Romney was on the ballot?
Well,
Another Romney.
I've seen it from the beginning. There's been a very organic movement for Donald Trump in Michigan. People starting their own offices, making their own signs. We've seen an increase in support for him in places like Macomb and downriver and the UP. And he's broadened his coalition here in Michigan beyond what a traditional Republican candidate has done in our state. And he's also visited Michigan a lot. And I think his attention to Michigan is what's put Michigan in play. We were hoping to sneak under the radar, and the Democrats figured it out and sent the troops here the past few days.
You wanted a surprise.
I did. I wanted a huge surprise, but because we saw it, we knew what was happening. We've seen it across the state for a long time, but it's going to be neck and neck tonight, and it's going to depend on turnout.
You brought up the term the traditional Republican candidate, which obviously Trump is not the traditional Republican candidate. How hard is it for a machine like the Republican Party to try to figure out how to put this odd-shaped peg into a hole that has been so well defined for so many years?
Well, with the RNC's investment in data and what we've done, even at the Michigan Republican Party for the past 2 years to gear up for this and be out in the neighborhoods and figuring out our likely voters and then expanding that to new voters that weren't typically in our likely voter column and messaging to them through digital advertising, it's very complex, and I think it's something that we've done very well, and it's a tribute to Reince Priebus and the data organization he's put together at the RNC.
How much of the credit, if Donald Trump turns out to win Michigan, comes on your shoulders? Because Governor Snyder has made no bones. He has stayed out of this presidential race for the reasons he has enumerated. He's done some other little campaigning, but he has clearly from the beginning stayed out of this. So it's really been up to you as the head of the Republican Party to pull all of this together in a state where Republicans control every branch of government.
Well, if he wins, I'll be a typical politician and I'll take all the credit.
Perfect.
No, it's the voters. I mean, Donald Trump's message has resonated with the people of Michigan, and he's saying, I'm here for you. I'm going to be a fighter for you. I'm going to be a change agent. You don't have lobbyists that are talking on your behalf in Washington. I'm going to be that champion for you, and I'm going to talk about fair trade and jobs and the economy and Obamacare, and that has resonated all across the state with people who have felt left behind with this Obama economy. So his win will be a tribute to those people.
And how does he heal the country if he turns out to be the winner, given the comments he has made about women, the comments he's made about immigrants to this country, all of these things that we see in the commercials back to back to back?
Well, there's no question we have to start healing this country. And whoever wins the White House, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, this has been a very divisive campaign. When my kids can't even watch commercials, the Hillary Clinton commercials, they say, I don't want to watch TV, Mom. That means something's wrong. And that's not what any of us want, Republican or Democrat. And I hope the partisanship goes away for a little while and we start working together on issues and start with things you can agree upon, right? And then move from there. But they're both going to have to do that. If they take that mantle of being the leader of our country, it's up to them to help heal the country as well.
Okay, last question here. Since you're going to take the credit if this all goes well, give us some specifics that we can say, see, she said that. How do you think it's going to shake down tonight? How's Michigan going to do with this race?
It is all about turnout. We've seen higher absentee turnout. The Democrats have really pushed that, as have we. Now we hold a lead right now with the absentee votes. It'll be interesting to see if those absentee voters are actually voters that would have traditionally voted on election day. And one of the things that I'm noticing is the lines aren't that long in Detroit. So we're wondering, were those absentees people who would have regularly voted? We've got to look at Macomb County. We need a high turnout in Macomb County. We need to do well in the UP. We need to hold our own in Oakland and do very well outstate. And then we'll see what happens in Wayne County and what that turnout is, and that'll be the determining factor.
All right, give us a point spread, can you?
No, I can't do that.
Well, you're taking credit
Don't
for everything
ask
else.
me for those.
We're giving you the opportunity to go out on that limb one more time.
You know, I don't have my crystal ball here. I'm just, you know, I'm looking at the numbers like you are. I think Donald Trump's going to win. It is very, very tight. It is going to depend on turnout. We need everybody to go to the polls and vote.
All right, and if he wins, are you the one that sets up the meeting between Donald Trump, the new president, if he becomes the new president, and Governor Snyder, who did absolutely nothing to help him get elected?
Governor Snyder's been totally focused on Michigan, and he has turned this state around with
That's
his
not the
leadership.
Who sets up the meeting?
She's good.
I think Governor Snyder is perfectly capable of picking up the phone and making that call, and Donald Trump as well. So.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We'll all be watching very closely tonight. You got about an hour and 10 minutes to get out there and vote. So if you have not, then do so. We want to go to